communication of the 7500 to the laptop is critical. Hello, welcome to the Wager 7500 diagnostic training video. In this video we'll explore different applications that we can use to run diagnostics on the 7500 control unit, cables, and sensors. Since the communication of the 7500 to the laptop is critical, let's go ahead and inspect the communication port that this particular system is using. We'll go into the icon computer and go into the control panel. From the control panel you have a variety of icons. Let's go ahead and select System. Go ahead and click the Device Manager, and this will open up the Device Manager screen. The subsection of this Device Manager will be inspected as ports, COM and LPT, and at this point here we can see that the USB serial port is set up for COM3 on this particular system. We can change it if need be by clicking USB serial port COM3 and then right clicking on it, select from Properties, go to the Port Settings tab, go to the Advanced button. From here you go to the COM port number, and you can see there's a whole selection of COM port numbers that you can use. The Wager software typically utilizes COM1 through COM5, so just ensure that your USB serial adapter is not set for an example of COM13, and also make sure that it does say that it is in use. So once you select it, let's go ahead and select COM4 for example. But like I said earlier, it could be COM1 through COM5. So let's just simulate it and go to COM4. Click OK. Click OK. Now this screen over here refreshes, and it does say serial port COM4. So let's go ahead and close out all these windows. And now that we know that the Wager software will be communicating on COM4, let's go ahead and open up your terminal emulation program. Depending on what operating system you're running, you'll have a different icon. Windows 7 will run this putty icon. Windows XP will have a red and yellow telephone, which stands for hyperterminal. Let's go ahead and open up this putty and configure it. This is a new installation, so at this point you want to take the first option of serial, and we want to be using COM4, and we want the baud rate to be 57600, 8 data bits, 1 stop bit, no parity, and the flow control should be set to none. The next option to change is the terminal, and in the center middle you'll see answer back to Control E has the word putty in it. Let's go ahead and remove that and make that blank. Lastly, click the session, click the serial bubble, and that'll drag in COM4 and 57600. Let's go ahead and save this session, and we'll type in 7500 COM4, and let's go ahead and save that, and now that will add this to the list. So let's go ahead and cancel this and just show you what it looks like once it has been configured. Let's go ahead and open up putty, and you can see that 7500 COM4 is on the list, so let's click it once and click load and double click it, open. Now you'll see you have a blank screen with a green cursor. At this point let's go ahead and power on the DCU control unit and hit the reset button. After about 10 seconds you should see some lines show up on your screen. And you should get 5 lines that have the word OK at the end. If you see the word fail, then something is incorrect with the system and you would want to call technical services. But at this point we can type in several commands. The first command is going to be set, MC, hit enter, and the next command is THD, enter. At this point you'll see that the full flow opacity head test is running, and you can actually see the digital values of the LED drive value, the transmitter, and lastly the receiver. 2280 is the LED drive value, 1700 and jumping is the transmitter, and 1500 and jumping is the receiver. At this point we want to make the adjustments of going ahead and turn up the digital values for the optics, and those points are located inside the optic tube on this physical circuit board potentiometer. Let's go ahead and start on the transmitter side first, and we'll inspect what the side the green light is, and that'll be the transmitter side, and we will go ahead and adjust the potentiometer clockwise to increase the value and counterclockwise to decrease the value. You'll need a small flat blade jeweler screwdriver removing the cap on the end of the tube, and looking down in you'll see a circuit board, and on the circuit board will be a potentiometer with a brass flathead screw, and we're going to go clockwise on that screw and bring that 1700 number up to around 2100. And you can see pegged maximum was around 4,000, so if you see 4,000 it will not be jumping, but let's go ahead and around 2100. Okay, that's good. And let's go ahead and flip it over to the other side and do the receiver. This is the side that is not emitting the green light, and this also has a potentiometer, and we will go clockwise on it, bringing the 1500 value up to 2100. Okay, now that we have the optics digitally adjusted, let's go ahead and hit escape, and that'll stop the numbers from jumping. At this point we'll type in the command calibrate, C-A-L, for calibrate, and hit enter. After about 5 seconds it goes through and calibrates the system, and we'll come back with a prompt of a colon. If you see CF, that means calibration failed, something is wrong, call technical services. So at this point, now that it has been calibrated, you type in the command INV for inventory, and you should see a list of 10 sensors, and you should also see no asterisks on the line. At this point we have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10 sensors and no asterisks, so all the sensors are seen and working properly. Lastly, type in W, X is in X-ray. This will give you your weather report, and at this point you can see it's 72.5 degrees, 36.6 relative humidity, and 28.72 barometric pressure, with the errors of 000. So at this point we can type in the command Ralph Sam, enter, and you will see that the system will reset after about 10 seconds of a boot up period. Thank you for watching this diagnostic video, and if you have any questions, feel free to call 336-969-6909 or email roblutz@wagerusa.com. That's RLUTZ @wagerusa.com. Thank you.